Good afternoon and welcome to the Critical Eye. Sundays is about the critical eye, and the critical eye is about matters that bite you on the flesh. And it is for this reason that our conversation today will be revolving around the situation as it turned on matters gender representation in the corridors of power and decision-making processes. To this extent, my panel today is constituted with both genders properly represented, and we shall come back with the details shortly after this commercial break. But for now, stay tuned and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Welcome back. I will allow my panelists to introduce themselves just for 1 minute each, and then later on we'll start our deliberation. So I'll just allow the gentleman on my far right to introduce himself.
Good evening or afternoon. Good evening, yeah. I'm Kirui, Humphrey. I'm the Sumo campus, and may thank you guys to have me on board for this great interview. Thank you.
Okay, welcome to the Critical Eye, and on my immediate right.
Okay, thank you. Good evening. I'm Emma Ondego, student leader, Kenya Water Institute.
Okay, thank you. You're welcome to the Critical Eye.
Thank you.
And on my left.
I'm Vincent, Opiyo, student leader, Kenya Institute of Management. I really appreciate this invitation.
Okay.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Critical Eye. And the far left.
Hello everyone. Hello. I'm Keziah Moraa, a student leader at Odima University. I'm so thankful and grateful for the things that you're doing. Yeah.
Okay, welcome to the Critical Eye. So according to you, women are still ignored when it comes to decision-making processes?
According to me, I feel women still are being ignored in terms of occupying those positions.
Okay.
Those positions, like for example, if you go like let's take example of Mandera side,
Okay.
the Somali region, like you'll realize that for them, women have only been considered for power, maybe for the position of women rep.
Okay.
But when it comes to the parliament, for the parliamentary seats, women, the MCS, the MP, they're not given a chance.
Okay.
That we realize the council of elders are the one to sit
Okay, thank
and
you.
say that this clan are the one to produce the leaders. But for us, I think for us in Nyanza region and in the Rift Valley region, we have empowered women.
Thank you. Vincent, what can you comment about that? Are women still ignored?
There is a Swahili say that goes, heri nusu shari kuliko shari kamili. In comparison to the two before the promulgation of the 2010 Constitution and after the promulgation of the very Constitution, there is a very big difference. In the past regimes, women's responsibility were only defined within the kitchen. But we give glory to our 2010 Constitution, where there are specific positions that had been left to the women. When you come to the county level, each county has a women rep in all the 47 counties. That means we have 47 women rep within our nation. Two, the Constitution stipulates that the political parties have to give 16 slots specifically for the women. And the very Constitution also gives the women one woman who represent the persons with disability, and another women also represent the youths.
And has that been achieved?
Yeah, we are achieving it.
Okay.
Yeah,
As we
grow, as we keep on understanding the new Constitution, the women keep being included. Yeah, in the roles of.
So your general opinion is that we are not there yet, but we are headed there.
We are headed there.
Okay, maybe I'll jump over to.
And maybe before you jump over to Madam Eva, maybe to Vincent. You know, how many times have that bill, gender bill, been presented before the floor of the House? Several times, but it has not been effected because each and every time that bill is presented before the floor of the House, you realize the male gender, they skip the bill. Why?
Has it not been effected, or it has not been passed?
It has not been passed. It has been presented before the floor of the House several times, but the male gender, they fail to turn up in expected number to discuss the bill.
But what about the two-third gender?
Yeah, it has not been effected in the parliament.
Okay.
If you go to the parliament, leave alone the women rep, that one is stipulated in the constitution.
Okay.
But in terms of assume the members of parliament, the member of national assemblies,
Okay.
yeah, you'll realize majority are male gender,
Okay.
but not the girl child.
So representation is still a problem.
Still a problem there.
Okay. Eva, do you have a similar opinion, or you have a different thought from what Vincent and Kirui had to say?
Okay, thank you. According to my opinion, first of all, we have to appreciate the 2010 Constitution,
Okay.
having brought up the two-third gender rule, because if you compare the 2010 and the other constitution, women did not have voice, just as Vincent has said. Women were known for being in the kitchen and taking care of children, like even if you narrow it down to our local homes, women had no voice.
Okay.
But since the two-third gender rule came, now at least you see women like Gladys Wanga, they have some voice. We have in the name of women rep.
Okay.
Like now, that one gives the young ladies who are still growing up, at least they have some dream, like I want to become a strong woman like such and such a lady. Now I see we are still not there yet, because there are some women or ladies who are still, they just feel down. Like you see when you compare woman and a lady, you find that in most cases, even in the campaign, you see most men winning because maybe they have that do I say money to campaign or what?
Okay.
I don't know how to put it. But you see, women, we are still down, but we are yet there. I know in future, we will find even a woman becoming the president.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. So I'll jump over to my friend Moraa. What can you say about that?
Thank you very much for this opportunity. What I'd like to say is change is gradual.
Okay.
Thanks to the 2010 Constitution that stipulated the roles of women and brought up the two-third gender rule, that at least compared to the other constitution, I can see some very good changes. I can clearly see there is even if it's not all, but at least there's a representation. So that's why I say change is gradual. I think with the time, we women are going to be empowered.
Okay.
Personally, I'm empowered, and I love it that at least I see some women up there and supporting us. Like right now, our Chief Justice is a woman, and you feel we who are anticipating to be leaders in future, we really feel great. So although it's not yet where it's supposed to be. Because if we look at the parliamentary seats and stuff, we see there's still a gap.
But Moraa, you'll agree with me that we are in a democratic state where everyone is, allowed to vie for the positions they want.
But also you'll agree with me that we are Africans.
Okay.
And our culture is part of us. And we know very well that as Africans, we believe like, who is the head of the house? It's the man. Right?
But,
and most I'm not trying to say that you men are egocentric, but there's a way you don't like women leading you. A lot of men don't like mwanamke, but with the time, things are gonna get better, because now we see it's something that is normal.
Mora, but what can you comment about the religious perspective of this? Because, you know, from the Bible and from the stories of the Bible, some people have argued that since time immemorial, and Kenya being predominantly, inhabited by Christians, some assume that because God gave man the mandate to live, women are not supposed to lead. What can you comment about that?
Honestly, that question I've always asked myself several times. Apart from the book of Esther that at times I read and comfort me, there's a way, it's just men, and we being in a Christian dominant region, at times it's very hard. But you can bear witness with me, but these days you get that we have reverend pastors who are women, of which it's still not how we expect it of the current world, but then I feel I even don't know how to really support that.
And
I think
that was great.
I think
maybe Vincent, as you start to think, you can also tell us some religions even today. I'm glad that you mentioned something about the pulpit and being, a reverend. Some religions even today don't allow women to, go on a pulpit, but now Reverend Ashi is, preaching. Maybe you can also comment on that as you make your comment.
when you go through the Bible, we have the Old Testament and the New Testament.
Okay.
The New Testament came with a grace. Jesus Christ brought grace to all the humankind. That's why he died for all of us. He did not only die for men or women. He died for all of us. That means he has set the equal opportunity of both men and women to serving him. Yeah.
Okay, so in short, that one is demystified.
Jesus can use whoever he wants to do his job, be it a female or a male.
So the aspect of leadership now, forget about Jesus' work.
When it comes to leadership also, our ladies, they are capable. Women are capable. And when they are given that opportunity, they can do exploits in our nation and in political game.
Okay.
But the problem is, especially in electioneering period or during our political campaigns, the political environment does not favor women.
Okay.
And specifically, politics is always related with goonship. And our women are not goon.
So
Our women are not good. So when we have an enabling environment and full implementation of democratic space, many women can come and join us and we can elect them. In fact, we can easily trust women with the leadership than we do with men.
But Kirui, the question of leadership is a very ambiguous one, especially when you bring women in between. Even the common lady in some village, maybe from where I come from, will argue with you strongly how she cannot vote in a woman. Even women themselves do not trust women in leadership. What is the problem here? What can you comment about that?
An example is to 1997, whereby the one charity guild with the governor Kirui, he tried and vied for the presidency against the former president, then Victory Teacher of Moi. But she managed to be number 5 or number 6. But if you can compare the ratio of male to women in Kenya, you realize women can, if they join hands together, they can vote for a women president in Kenya.
Okay.
That one you can agree with me.
Yeah, it's possible.
But going back to the society, some say, but in my area, I remember we had a madam who taught me in primary school, but she managed to get an MCA seat. For a woman, if you feel like a development is not coming, if you mount pressure to her, you know, it's easier for a woman to reach the governor, and then development can be decentralized. If you can do a lot, unlike a man, if you pressure like Vincent here, but you have not done roads here, we have poor state of roads, we don't have water, boreholes, we need to dig boreholes. You know, it can just be rude. But a woman will feel like, oh, I see my house is like, it wants to collapse. But for me, I can believe in a woman. Okay. Because take an example here, we have two couples. Husband has gone, maybe he passed away sometimes back. But a woman can never leave a kid. Take an example, go home. You as a father, you have only carried your newspaper. No kid run after you. But for mother, mother's carried some oranges, some bananas.
But
because
you know,
mother doesn't leave the kids. But if it were you, if your wife has passed, you can definitely remarry again.
But you know, Kirui, we were talking about stereotypes and traditions, and you will agree with me that from time immemorial, we know very well that taking care of the baby is a mother's job, especially when we bring in traditions in the picture. You know, so when you bring that on the table, it calls a lot of other questions. So, according to what you're saying, taking care of the babies are an impediment to achieving gender inclusion.
No, that one is you exercise your parental care to the children. Our children cannot only identify mother as the father or a mother, but you too, you have a responsibility, man and a woman, to bring up these kids.
Okay, thank you. Vincent, maybe you can tell us some of these, factors that it brings a lot of impediments on the way of achieving gender inclusivity when it comes to matters, politics, and governance. Some of these factors and policy gaps.
I think we are doing well. We are doing well as a nation. When you keenly follow up some of the debates that are going on in National Assembly and in Senate, the women who are entrusted with leadership there, they are really fighting for the women's space. Okay. But their major argument or the major problem, or one of the factors that maybe is affecting the ambition, is the political environment. Okay. When the playing ground is well leveled, then I think these women, they will. I told you previously that when the women are given the opportunity, they can bring an absolute change not only in our nation, but in the society.
But Vincent, you'll agree with me that we have a lot of affirmative actions in place to alleviate the status of women in the society.
You know, implementation is the problem. Okay. That's what women are crying for. If all these policies can be put into full implementation, then you will never hear them crying or yapping around. They will be fully satisfied. I want to give this simple, I don't know whether it's called an analogy. There's a time when I walk in my village, I always do some little comparison to a woman who still have the husband and a woman who is widowed. Okay. We found that the widow has done a lot of things. That means that they always realize their space, their potential and power in the absence of the husband. That means in the presence of the husband, that's when I tell you, hey, don't go for work, don't do this, don't.
So in short, you're implying that the husband or the husband aspect, I want to assume it's representing the male. In short, you are, saying that our male gender has overshadowed the female in this country.
Specifically, when you come to African culture, where the men were given the key responsibility of providing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, thank you. Maybe I'll jump over to Moraa.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, some of the...
There are a lot of factors.
Okay.
So they have just mentioned about culture. That is one of the most leading aspects that is really hindering women from becoming the leaders that they want to be. Another thing is, as you had said, the population of women is higher than that of men. But you find that in our setup, if you look at the ratio of women who have gone to school and men who have gone to school, we find that a lot of men have gone to school. There's a study I was doing in Mobile County. It was about teenage pregnancies, and I was trying to look at it as a broad aspect, and I found out that most of those who are suffering are females. You find out that young girls are not going to school, and the factors being is that maybe, let's say, early pregnancy, and then there's this belief, so long as a girl is enough, she can be married and bring cows and stuff. So if
does it still exist? Maybe if I can interject.
It's still existing.
Okay.
In the most of us are here. We just look at things from here. You are seeing me here. I'm going to school. I'm almost graduating. You're seeing these girls here, but there are those people that still have problems. Can you imagine there are areas that people even don't know how to use pads? It will shock you, yeah. There are interior places that there are still a lot of problems. If you go to West Pokot, the interior parts of Northeastern and stuff, people are still suffering. Despite us seeing that the culture has been empowered, actually the last time men were complaining that girl child empowerment has been so much, we have even neglected the boy child. But let me tell you, girl child still need the empowerment. Let me tell you, like right now, let's say you have a girlfriend. She is in class 8, let's say, or Form 1. The girl is productive within the age of 13 to 19, but within that period, they're still in, let's say, secondary school, and you impregnate this girl. Trust me, there's a way she can drop, but you continue. You are not affected in any way. And then it will depend on the environment of this girl that will enable her go back to school or camp. So we find even these cases in the hospital that mtoto msichana amezaa ameabandoniwa. They can't really take, the parents don't want and stuff, so you find that they are so miserable in life. So I feel we still have a lot to implement than just to say. We need actions, not these things that we go to the parliament and speak and come down and sit. We just need to go to the ground.
Oh, okay. Well, that's what it's good that you've mentioned we need to do a lot. Sometime later you'll have to tell us what kind of a lot we need to do. But for now, I'll jump to my friend over here. You can highlight for us some factors, in your own opinion, that impede the implementation of these gender policies and gender inclusion.
Just to add on what Moraa said about the early pregnancy and maybe culture. There was a time I was watching something on Mwanamke Bomba in Citizen, and there is a Somali was here, but she was from those northeastern part, and she was telling her story. She had to run away from home for her to become a hero, in that she was to be forced to marry an older person who was the age of, was it a grandfather or a father, just because for the exchange of cows. You know how those people treasure their cows.
Okay, now that you mentioned marriage and children, when a lady is married, and when a lady, maybe let's say at the age of 18, and when a lady gives birth maybe at the age of 20, is this the end of the road for the lady?
It's not the end of the road, but it depends on the environment that the lady is living.
Okay.
Yeah, we have so many ladies in campus who have kids, but we also have ladies of the same age back in the village who have kids, but they did not have that chance to go back to school. You see that difference? Okay. So it depends on your background.
Okay, what about a lady who gives birth already in campus?
he or she, she is able to continue with her education because of maybe the parents are able to let her continue, but the other lady is not able to continue because maybe the parents, there are some parents who even chase the lady.
Okay.
Enda kwa ule mwanaume alikupatia mimba. No, you go to that mwanaume, I'm not the father. I don't know where you got, you see.
So some parents, okay. Some
Yes,
parents
also contribute.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay,
parents
thank you.
also contribute. Now you see the difference. This lady who is at home, they are of the same age, or maybe they are married. Maybe if you're married and you've given birth at that younger age, it depends on the husband that you've got. Maybe this husband will be like, this woman of mine, she needs her future also.
Okay.
Now, there are some of our men who still understand that women can do, like Kirui said here, that if I educate this woman, or maybe if I take her to some technical school, maybe afanye cherahani or maybe something, in future, this employment of mine ikiisha, this lady can support. And there are also some other version of some other men who believe that if I take this lady maybe to school, atanidharau because now she'll be earning. You see, that there is that to a different environment. That's what I'm saying. Environment also matters.
Oh, but maybe a quick question out of our context today. When this man takes the lady to school and advances her studies, there is a chance that this lady will truly, disrespect the guy, or it's just
I don't think
an assumption.
It's just an assumption because it depends on how. Let me tell you, the empowered lady will not. Okay, if you sit down with her and tell her, okay, my lady is this and this, maybe tunaweza gawana. We can you can take this responsibility, because I'm sure 90% of men don't know how their kids put on. They don't know where those clothes come from.
Okay.
It depends on the woman.
It seems like Moraa had something to
Actually, I had
add.
something to add on the girl side. Let me say, for example, since first year I've been in campus politics, and there are a lot of challenges that I've faced during that period. One of the major one being people really fear a woman who is in politics. They feel like there's that time. Actually, in my campus, nobody has the guts to come and seduce me. You see,
Okay.
like they just fear. Okay, I may be seduced by somebody outside my campus and who is a leader, but not just an ordinary person just coming from anywhere to come and talk to me.
Is that an impeding factor?
No, the thing is, I'm trying to look at it like Mimi. I was trying to look at myself, and I'm like, somebody's coming to tell me. So like a friend of mine is coming to tell me, Mbra, watu wanakuogopa. I'm like, why? You're a leader, you're plus, you just in the streets at times you make noise, you want this, people fear. Somebody, you want to marry somebody in your house who goes to the streets and make noise and anaongea, there's that fear that men have. I really don't know what it is.
That intimidates you as well, the lady for.
Okay, I think for some reasons. The cameras. Let me say, for example, I was dating someone and he had to leave me just because I was in campus politics. Alisema politics is a dirty game and it's one of the worst things that a woman can decide to do. From that, I felt like, why is it that politics is this bad that people don't want to associate themselves with politicians? But then as a lady, it's just because I know what I want, I know where I'm going, and I know what I'm doing. That's why I'm there, and I want to be the leader now.
Okay, thank you for that.
Let me add something. I think it is not fair to always judge women who are involved in politics or in leadership or in some specific job as immoral. This is just a job and a profession like any other professions.
Okay.
And a talent.
Okay. Maybe I'll jump over to Kirui to finish the thought for us. Maybe you can summarize
for
or
me, maybe what I may
subtract.
What I may say, I may add, for example, like such cultures are obsolete. the parents can decide, oh, that family is okay. Now Kirui, there's a lady there. And now for her parents, so najua we exchange the dowry. And for us, you take her, what is it called? Is it not the spear? This other one.
Above.
Yeah, then you throw. Like all these cows that itapatikana hapo, itakuwa imeenda kwake. But now those cultures are obsolete. Even in our own house, politics is there. Yeah, you realize like the eldest son anasema hivi, even mother anasema. Lakini it's about politics is everywhere. Actually, even the leadership is everywhere. Even your house, father is the head of the house, followed by mother, maybe the kids.
Okay, thank you. So these existing gaps in matters gender inclusion, I know for sure that we have solutions for that because everything has a remedy. So maybe I'll start with Kirui over there for another time. Maybe you can tell us some of these things that we can do to bridge these gaps, to avoid, to achieve, maybe to catalyze the process of achieving gender inclusion.
Before I come there, like you go to a certain society, they base their belief in the Bible. You go to other like the Muslim community, they believe in the Quran, that you can take it from me. If you go to mosque, women and men don't share mosque. They don't share mosque. It's only men who can enter mosque, but the other side of the mosque is the women. But they you go the other side of the house, the room. The room is fitted with the what is it called? Is it loudspeakers? The speakers. But even like this room, imepasulia tu mwanya kidogo, but they should not stay in the same room. I don't know why. They don't believe even a woman can stand before them so that she can preach same to Christians.
Okay.
But I think all of us, in the account of creation, all of us are equal. Man and a woman, all of us are equal. Because, like for example, me, I cannot give birth to a full kid. I must contribute like 0.5. She contributes 0.5. So by the time we deliver the kid, it's upon our responsibility as a father and a mother to bring up this kid so that the kid we bring up the kid with good morals and values.
Okay. So what are some of these things that we can do to do away with such policies? For example, the ones Muslim do, letting women worship outside the mosque.
I think for the Muslim, I think it's impossible for them.
Okay.
Maybe with the Christians, because we have gone to church Sunday school, we have grown up in church, like we have participated in the youth camp, even in church discussion, that some cultures should be obsolete, should be forgotten, and we adopt the modern way of thinking, the modern way of propelling maybe the culture leadership also ahead. For me personally, I believe like if I've come from a remote society, like the other side of Pokot, for example, and Moraa, she has come from Nyamira. We have met in the university, and later, before she pursued a course, undergraduate course, maybe in medicine. I pursued my undergraduate course in accounting. Maybe we end up marrying each other. These are two different people brought up in different ethnic backgrounds. So now it's upon the girl now to leave her culture and go to the boy child now to adopt my culture, but not my culture. It means even me, there's some things I'll be using my own knowledge that this one, no. This one, no. So we put our heads together, and like it will be so uncaught for me and her. People who have gone to school to sideline maybe our kids.
Okay.
The girls and the boys, that we empower boys more than the girls.
Okay.
Remember, we shall also grow old. And it's upon now our kids now even to look for us for the few days and
Okay. Thank you. Moraa.
Okay, thank you very much. There are a lot of things that we need to do.
Okay.
Despite the challenges that we have, you know, we still have a lot of challenges as a country for us to go actually to where we are focusing on. One of the things that we may do is let us empower each other. As we're trying to empower woman power, as well as empower men, and make them to understand the importance of women leadership in the society. Let us not do it the one way. Like we have been trying doing it we empower women that way, and it has not worked for, it's like almost 10 years. But let us try to empower both men and women. In empowering men, we try to make them understand that women leadership is important, and women needs to be leaders so that we can be equal in the society. Another thing we can do is I'm happy that right now there's education is becoming a basic need. Honestly, it is. Apart from economic, let me say, our socio-economic background that makes us not be where we want. Like, let me tell you, for example, right now, it's all about university. Everybody from my school want to go to university. But going to university, the course that you're going to do, they will depend on the grade that you have. Like, there are a lot of people that want to do medicine, but they can't do it because of the cut points. You have to have an A+. Whereas there's somebody, a parent somewhere, mtoto wake has got a B and can do this medicine. The difference is this family has money. Let's say in a year it's 524,000. There's some background we are government sponsored and still we can't meet our daily needs. We have to really struggle and work extra miles for us to get a living. So our socio-economic status as a country is terrible. With the pandemic that has come down, I think it's now worse. Trying to balance the equilibrium, trying to poor and the rich, trying to balance. I think that is where there's still a very, very, very big problem that is really hindering us. Let us look at the society right now. Most of the people have started their campaigns. And trust me, in all of the posts, I've seen people bringing out their postures. There's only one poster I've seen for a lady who is Moraa, Kisii County, want to be is it a senator? That is the only one I've seen. The other ones I always see Akina Jimmy Magero. It's just men who want to MCA, MP. People are really fighting. You can get Ron. I've not seen a women MP in Kisumu apart from Ondego. The future that we want, it becomes very hard. Right now, there are some people who can't even afford a penny just to buy whatsoever they want. And you know the impact of that, it can lead to increased crime rates. Like, let's say theft, people will start stealing. Let me say I'm staffing, I don't have something, I'm unemployed, hakuna kazi kwa county. Other counties, they even have ghost employees. You know, the rich, I always say the rich are becoming rich, the poor are becoming poor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Vincent, do you have anything to add on to what Moraa has said, or maybe to subtract, or maybe to, differ?
I will not say that women should be empowered. I will say women must be fully empowered with our government. The very way our government, I've seen it wise to provide the free condoms, is a very way they have to provide the free pads to all the girl child within our country. Condom is a leisure. Yoni araha, but the parts are very important, and these are things that our ladies cannot do without. We'll find that the girl child, the time that they go through this period, some of them don't go to school; they stay at home, and by this they lose a lot in their studies. So, if the government can make sure that a law is passed, a legislation is passed within the parliament that every school is given specific parts in accordance to the number of cultures that are there, it will be a great plus to our ladies too. The culture, there are things that we should just throw in a dustbin that were put in our car. For example, that the role of a woman is to stay in the house, to take after the child, to cook, and to make sure that the house is clean. When a woman is involved in economic activities, a society or a family always develop very fast. You know, when a woman, you give a woman 10 shillings to go and maybe purchase salt, you will buy salt of 7 shillings, and she will keep 3 shillings.
Okay.
After doing this within 1 month, you will realize that there is a let me say a thermos or a birika that has been bought in that house, and you not know where the woman got money. Sometimes the men who have some sort of spirit of bullshit in them start beating their woman. Where hii pesa ulitoa wapi? I never gave you the money to buy this birika. Not knowing that the little that he normally give this woman, she uses some, but she keep some for the purpose of bringing a change within the house. So the woman should be empowered, both in the government appointment. They should be given their portion, whether in NGO, in the society at large. Let the potential of the women or the girl child be realized. We are all equal before God.
Okay, Vincent, maybe you can tell me this before I jump over to Eve over here. Have women done something to help themselves?
They are doing so much. But earlier, before I told you that women, they only need a very good and conducive political environment.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all they need.
Okay, thank you.
You remember Alice Lakwena in Mombasa? No, in Uganda. She was trying to, like, you look at the brutal leadership of Uganda. During the reign of Milton, the likes of Obote, but she felt like, no, this is not the country to stay. But as much she was trying to come into the light, but you saw the force of the boy child, Obote. It ejected her from Uganda.
Okay.
She came to Kenya to find refuge. And again, back in the society, you realize that women have gone to school, but no one wants to empower them. The knowledgeable women, they sit down, they form groups, and maybe they also want tenders from the county government or the government. And always there's a general group to apply for the tenders. There is the women, there is the persons with disabilities, and there is the youth. If women, if their group is still for, they are women, yeah, but they can still fit for the youth companies. But we realize those people who are in that county government, they don't feel like awarding these ladies the tenders, because they have their own people. Okay. Like for me, I found myself, I'm the CMCA or the governor of Kisumu County. I can go back to my society and look those people within my society that we are related. Then we form companies under the youth, and then I award them tenders, saying that group so and so and so they have benefited, but the larger group they have not benefited.
Okay, thank you.
I want to add something a bit.
Be brief, please.
Qualification, the job qualification. Girl child are fully harassed with the fact that when they apply for the job, and sometimes they qualify, but when you get that the persons who are to give this job, they also have to confirm whether they qualify in the bed. So it's not good. Let job qualification be job qualification. We don't need bed qualification.
Okay, thank you for that enlightenment. Now, if you can wrap this thought for us, some of how these gaps can be bridged. How we can solve this equation of gender inclusivity.
Okay, thank you again for this opportunity. According to my opinion, how we can narrow the gap just for the girl child empowerment, just as Moraa said, as we empower the ladies, we should also empower the men. Because you find most of the problems that ladies are going through, or women are going through, they come from the men. A lady cannot be pregnant on her own. It's because of the guy.
Okay.
Yeah. So as we empower the ladies or the girls, we should also empower the boys. And I also had an idea to go back into my village, because at time I chat with my people in the village, and you hear so very young ladies getting, unasikia, oh, that one ashaoleka, and someone is very much younger than you. Then you're like, what's wrong in this village? Was this village cursed? But you find out that it's not only your village. You go to the next area, you find there are so many young ladies, young girls who are getting pregnant, who are being impregnated, but no one follows this. No one cares. Because you also find that the parent, maybe they're like, no, let her just go. She went to enjoy herself. But you find that this lady, maybe if you narrow or you go and talk to this lady, you will find that there must be a reason as to why she did this. So as we empower ladies, we should also empower boy child.
Okay.
Yeah, that's according to me.
Okay, thank you very much. Now,
That's why you see the provisional, the county commissioner for the Rift Valley, Mr. Natembe, is very tough on that. Simply because he also wished the girl child to shine.
Okay.
But I think the policies should be stringent, whereby today, if I want to date Emma or Moraa, for Natembe, ask Moraa, do you have an ID? If she produces an ID, then these are 18 plus.
Okay.
But if she doesn't produce an ID, my friend, you'll be jailed. Even those small kids, those small boys that they want to impregnate their cohort, even them should face the strong arm of the law.
Okay.
They should be, if you are found to be the culprit, you'll be arrested and detained in the juvenile.
Okay.
And just before, I want to add on something that Kirui said about the ladies or women not being given the tenders. Ladies or women are very honest, and they do their work perfectly.
All of them.
I can take an example of myself. I'm the treasurer of that school. I found it difficult to work with the principal. Now, because of the camera, I won't call or mention the name. But simply because they knew how strict I was. So some would come to me and tell me, like, Emma, we need this money. I was like, what are you going to do with this? I have to know. Tell me, because I'm the signatory for the school. So I have to know this money, as I'm going to withdraw it. What purpose? For what purpose? So you find that we used to fight with this guy every time. So when I went for clearance, then he was like, you lady, I don't know where you'll find yourself, but you are very tough. Are you married? Then I was like, why is this guy asking me this question? Just like Moraa said, most men fear tough ladies. Not tough being on what, but strict ladies, yeah.
Okay. Thank you for that. Now for the last part of our deliberation today, I'm going to request you guys to look at your respective camera and maybe, tell the females of this country what they can do, especially now that we are approaching the next general election, to ensure that they are not left out, that you attain the gender inclusivity debate. We attain gender inclusivity in totality. Maybe I'll start from Moraa, because it's ladies first, and today is Ladies' Day.
A message that I have for the ladies is, we can do it, and let us believe in ourselves. Let us be empowered. Let us include woman-to-woman empowerment. If we do that, I think we're going far, and let us be the leaders we can. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for that. And to Eve over here.
Yeah, so what I can tell our ladies, we can do it. We are not different from these guys. There are only two parts in our bodies that are different. That's the only difference we have. But the rest of the things are equal. We have the same brain, we go to the same school, we go to the same church, to the same hospital. So what our opposite gender can do, we can also do. So let's just believe in ourselves. Yeah,
Okay.
that's the only thing.
Okay, thank you. Now, Vincent, maybe you can also share something with the ladies of this country.
I want to encourage our ladies to stand up. What men can do, the women can do it best. Ladies, stand up for your right and fight for your right. Fight for your space in our Kenyan politics. And I'm assuring you that when you go united, you shall never be defeated.
Okay, thank you very much. And finally, to Kirui over there.
For me, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure to have me on board. And again, what I can say, what a man can do, a woman can do it better. Because even Marcus Garvey said one time that you liberate the women's minds, ultimately you will liberate their bodies. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, guys, for the powerful information you're passing out there to the ladies of this country. And that marks the end of our discussion today. And I would like to thank all our committed viewers for tuning in to The Critical Eye. And keep subscribing and keep following us, because this, my friend, is your critical eye.